I was really not remembering to record. This light really bugs me. I don't like it shining on my picture, but I don't know how to change it. And it's so dark here now that oh, there, look at that. There, perfect. Okay, that's so much better. Right, let me get to the questions. Am I recording? Yes, I'm recording. Hi to everybody watching or listening to the recording, and hello everybody who's here live. Good to see you all. Thanks so much for being here. Let me get into the questions that we have here in the Ask Kim Constable forum inside the app. So Shainaz El Taruti has the first one. She says, "Hi Kim, question please. When I do a gym session for legs, for example, but I didn't perform really well for any reason, the next day I sometimes decide to repeat the same leg day with the aim to perform better. Is that a good idea or not?" Look, there's two answers I could give you to this. The first one is it a good idea? Honestly, I would say no. I would say whenever you don't have a good workout, draw a line under it and move on. That's what I always do. I just draw a line under it, move on, recognize that I did my best, I did what I could, and just, this day, wasn't that great. Just draw a line under it and move on. Now, of course, if something happened, such as you were training legs and then you only got 2 exercises done and then you got interrupted for whatever reason and you had to stop, would you go back and kind of repeat it the next day? Well, if you really felt like you didn't have a leg day, then the answer would be, well, yes, potentially. I would do the leg. I would definitely repeat it the next day or combine it with another workout, for example. So let's say you only got leg extensions and 2 sets of leg press done that day for whatever reason, and then you got interrupted and you had to stop, or there was some kind of emergency or something, well, then I definitely would be doing it again the next day for sure. But if it was just that you went into the gym, you gave it your best shot for whatever reason, maybe you were tired, maybe you were stressed, maybe you had something going on that meant that it just wasn't your best workout, right? Wasn't like your most badass workout that you've ever done. Would I repeat it the next day? No, probably not. I would draw a line under it. I would move on. We all have good days. We all have bad days. We can't really control what those good and bad days are. And as I always preach, the most important thing is consistency, not perfection. It's that you showed up, you got it done, you gave it your best shot. Maybe your best shot wasn't, as good as you would have liked, but you still gave it your best shot and you did it. You're going to have some good days. You're going to have some bad days. Just like, you smash it some days and have like an amazing session. Other days, you're not going to have as good a session. And that's just what you have to accept and move on from. So I definitely wouldn't be repeating it the next day. Would be my general consensus. Laurie is asking, I'm going to be traveling last minute and we'll miss the Zoom call. And I was just thinking, I don't think I've ever hosted a Zoom call and not seen Laurie's lovely face in it. So Laurie, you are missed. I did notice your absence, I have to say. How do you apply Lusso Tan so evenly? I bought all the steps. I just don't want to look spotty. Okay, this is a really good question. So whenever you're doing tan, whenever you're applying any kind of tan, the most important thing about the tan is actually prepping the skin first. You have to make sure your skin is super prepped. You have to make sure it's well exfoliated. Don't shave just before you put your tan on because that can actually dry out the skin, and so it makes the tan go patchy. What you want to do is shave the day before, and then you want to make sure that your skin is really, really well exfoliated. So I don't know about you guys, but I exfoliate my skin constantly. I have one of those sponges in the shower, which has like a scrubby side and a soft side. So every single time I'm in the shower, which is obviously twice a day, I scrub my skin with the scrubby side of the sponge, and I keep an oil in the shower, a body oil. So a really good tip for you is just buy a bottle of baby oil or any kind of oil. Even coconut oil is fine. Keep it in the shower, and then whenever your skin is wet, okay, after you've showered, then is that for me? Oh, I love you so much. Is that coffee? Oh my God, I love her so much. She just brought me coffee, and honestly, I've just been on this insane schedule today, and I haven't even had my second cup of coffee. This is like, sorry, I have to take a wee. Thank you, Tasha. I love you so much. I love her so much. 1 minute. Mm. Oh, that is so good. If only she had brought me a wee vegan cookie to go with it or something, she would have got a pay rise. So I scrub my skin every single day, and then the secret to putting Lusso Tan on, or so no, I was telling you about the oil. Sorry, I keep a body oil in the shower, usually just a baby oil. So once I turn the shower off and my skin is still wet, I kind of swipe the water off it. Then I cover myself in baby oil while my skin is wet, and I rub it all in. It spreads really evenly. And the reason why that's so good to do is because your skin will hold the moisture from the oil. So the oil seals in the wet into your skin, seals in the moisture. Then I get out of the shower, pat my skin dry, and my skin is super moisturized. But I don't do that the day that I'm going to tan. The day I'm going to tan, you don't want to put any moisturizer on your skin at all. You want your skin to be completely dry. So I get out of the shower, dry my skin off really, really well, and then I get a mitt. So I wear two mitts, right? I get one on each hand, and I shake the Lusso Tan really, really well. And another good tip is I put some tissue or some tissues, some Kleenex, in the lid of the Lusso Tan, and then close the lid. So because whenever you shake it, it can actually come out the top of the pump sometimes. So I always put a bit of tissue in there, just keep it in there all the time. Put the lid on, shake it really, really, really well, and then do 1, 2, 3 pumps onto the mitt, and then just blend it really fast. So you want to blend it really, really quickly. So you put your foot up on the bath, and then you don't do your feet. You start from the ankle, and you rub and blend really, really quickly. And if you have 2 mitts on your hand, you can even do this and like pat them together, and then you do 2 at the same time. Having the 2 mitts is an absolute game changer because you can work far faster. And the secret to putting a really good tan on is prepping, making sure your skin is super prepped. So no moisturizers or anything, but make sure your skin is good beforehand. You have good skin. And then you just rub it in really, really fast is the secret. And then if you don't have someone to do your back, one of the best things you can do is buy yourself one of those rollers, one of those paint rollers that you do in behind a radiator with. So I have one of those, and I pump it onto the roller, and I then roll my back with the roller. And believe me, even if the guide color looks a wee bit streaky sometimes, usually the tan underneath is beautiful whenever the guide color wears off. Or if you don't have someone to do your back, another thing I do is I get a hairbrush, and I put the mitt over the top of the hairbrush, and then I put like a hairband around the bottom to hold the mitt on, and then I just pump it onto the hairbrush, and I do my back here, and then I put my hand up the back, and you just do it while you're looking in a mirror. And you can usually do your own back as well. You don't even need to have someone to do your back for you. But prep is key. Working with 2 mitts is key, and making sure that you blend really, really, really fast. That's the secret of putting it on. And then the other thing you want to do is never do your hands with the mitt and never do your feet with the mitt. You want to have the brush. So they have this beautiful they have 2 brushes. One is a round brush, and one is a flat angled brush. So the flat angled brush, I put 1 pump on that, and then I hold my hands like this, and then I brush and do my hands really, really quickly. So you keep your fingers like this, keep them closed, and then you brush up and down your fingers really fast, just 1 pump. And then if you need a little bit more, then you do a little bit more in the fingers. I don't even take my rings off. And then I do the same on the other side, and then repeat on your feet. So 1 pump onto the brush, and then buff your feet just a little bit in and around your toes, not loads because it'll go super dark. So buff your feet, buff your hands, and then buff your face. But I use the face and hand mist from Lusso Tan. So again, spray it onto the brush and then just buff your face. I put it on every morning before I put my makeup on. So I don't use moisturizer on my face in the morning because I usually wear so much makeup during the day because I'm always recording. So I get out of the shower, and I spray the face and hand mist onto the brush, and I buff it all in. It's very moisturizing, so you don't actually need a face cream. And then I just apply my makeup over the top. I usually wear a tinted moisturizer, so I don't actually need like a moisturizer. And I find if I wear one, my skin gets greasy really quickly. So that's what I do in the morning. So I always have tanned skin. So you buff it on the brush, and you can buff it on your ears, on your neck. It's the secret to looking tanned all year round. People ask me, how am I tanned all year round? It's because of Lusso Tan. Problem is though, I have to kind of time when I'm going to put it on. So what I'll quite often do, because I can't have it on when I'm filming, because then it just comes off over everything. When I sweat, it comes off over the towels. When I touch the chairs, it comes off. So with the sweat, the guide color comes off. So what I have to do is when I go home from here, say at like 5 o'clock or something, I will then get into the shower, and then I'll cover myself in Lusso Tan, a really thick layer of it, and then I wash it off before bed. So that's the only way that I can make sure that my tan is good, because I can't put it on in the morning when I'm recording because the guide color comes off, and there's no other real time that I have to put it on. So that's the secret to good tanning. But definitely practice as well helps. Let me take a drink of my coffee. Okay, Leslie Nelson. What's the best way to measure body fat? I know you've said that the scales that measure body fat are crap. Yes, they are. And you've talked about taking progress pictures to see changes. For body fat, I'm curious if there's anything you would recommend that is accurate to use at home to get a percentage. Or is using mirrors pics the best way? I don't feel experienced enough to look at my body and guess my body fat percentage. Okay, so Leslie, there's different ways that you can measure, right? You could buy some calipers, and you could do like a 7-point caliper test. That's a really, really accurate way to do it. There's loads of videos on YouTube teaching you how to do it. So that's one way that you can do it. Another way is to get a DEXA body scan, and that is really super accurate, and that will actually give you your internal body fat as well. Because the thing about estimating your body fat is you're really only looking at your subcutaneous, or sorry, your subcutaneous fat. You're not taking into account your visceral fat, which is the fat around your internal organs, and so that fat does account for your body fat mass. So the only way to really accurately tell what your actual body fat is by looking at your body fat mass, your internal mass, as well as your subcutaneous mass, which can be shown on a DEXA body scan. Now, I would not have very much fat around my internal organs because I'm extremely lean, and I have been lean for years and years and years. So whenever I guess my body fat percentage, which I would say at the minute is about 14%, that is going to be pretty accurate, right? Could be maybe slightly more, could be slightly less, but around 14% is super accurate because I know that I'm not going to have a lot of visceral fat. But for someone who has been overweight for a reasonably long time, or a woman in menopause who's kind of waited until she's in her, mid 50s, 60s to really tackle the body fat, unfortunately, she is going to have fat around her visceral organs, around her internal organs, if she's waited until post menopause to really tackle that. Because for about 10 years before that stomach starts to protrude, your body is accumulating visceral body fat. This is something that I teach women, and they say, suddenly this belly appeared from nowhere. And they say, how do I get rid of it? They say, I just can't get rid of it. And I always say to women, the reason why you can't get rid of it is because that belly started accumulating about 10 or 15 years ago. You just didn't notice. So quite often in like her early 50s, a woman's belly will start to protrude, and she'll say, I look like I'm pregnant. This belly came from nowhere. Well, the belly didn't come from nowhere. It's internal fat that is now pushing out. So if you can imagine that, like I just, as an analogy, that fat started as a tennis ball size inside your abdomen, and then it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew until suddenly it's a football size, and that's why it's now protruding. So you think that it's only like this little protrusion out the front of your belly, not realizing it's the size of a football inside. That's why it's now protruding, because it's fat around your internal organs. So one 4-week diet or 8-week diet is not going to fix it, because it spent the last 10 to 15 years accumulating there, and there's usually a hell of a lot more of it than you think. So it's not easy to get rid of. So if you are that kind of woman who has, accumulated an extra, 10 to 20 pounds on the scale because of menopause, then your body fat may be higher than you think, because whenever you look at it from externally, you're not taking into account the visceral fat that you can't see. So a DEXA body scan is going to be the best way that you can measure your body fat in that way. But failing that, the other thing I want to say about body fat is it really doesn't matter if you're kind of 5% off either way. A lot of people want to measure their body fat, and they kind of really want their body fat to be lower than it is. But the thing I've realized through years and years and years of doing people's macros and calories is, I can look at their body and I can say, you're about 25% body fat, or you're about 32% body fat. I could be off 5% either way. They could be 37% body fat, or they could be 27% body fat, right? And it wouldn't really matter, because what really matters is that you stick to your macros and calories consistently over a long period of time. I have a coaching client at the minute who's doing really well. I've had her on 1,500 calories for the last nearly 12 weeks now. And she keeps saying, oh, do you not think I should lower my calories? Do you not think I should change this? And I'm like, no, why would you change? And she said, oh, because I've got less body fat now. And I just thought that, in order to burn more fat, I need to reduce more calories. I said, no, you're losing fat consistently every single week. She's lost 18 pounds of body fat in 12 weeks since we've been coaching together. That's 1.5 pounds a week. Like, that's phenomenal progress. But she wants it to go faster, and she wants, to cut the calories more. And I'm like, you don't change. And so are 1,500 calories, or is 1,500 calories the right deficit calories for her body fat percentage, for her height, for her whatever? Maybe, maybe not. Don't forget that working out your deficit calories is really only a guide. It's only a guide for you to figure out, what you should be eating, if you like. But you're kind of just hypothesizing, if I eat this amount of calories and do this amount of cardio or this amount of exercise, I'm going to get these results. But it's only when you start actually following the plan and testing the results and seeing what you get that you realize, is it working or is it not? With this particular client, it's working for her. She's losing 1.5 pounds a week. She's lost 18 pounds in less than 12 weeks. So I'm not changing anything. I would only change what she was doing if she stopped losing weight, if she stopped changing her body, looking better, being leaner, being fitter. If something changed and her weight loss plateaued or stalled, then I would change. But I'm not changing. We stay on these calories, we stay on this cardio, we stay on this training until we need to change. And so consistency trumps perfection every single time. If you just stick at a deficit calories, whatever you hypothesize that would be, you don't even need to know your body fat to know what those are. Like most people will be in a deficit on 1500 calories. So if you do 1500 calories, 30 minutes cardio a day, 30 minutes training a day, and you stick at that consistently over a long period of time, your body is going to lose weight and only change whenever changes stop happening. And don't really worry about body fat percentages is what I would say. Alrighty, let me take another little sip of coffee. Okay, Laurie is saying, I saw a comment from one of the coaches that the app is closed for new applications in boot camp. When will this be reopened? Okay, really good question. So here's an update on the Menopause app. So we've closed the app for new applications or for new members at the minute. And the reason why, there's two reasons why we've done this. The first one is we wanted to keep it really clear with Buns and Guns. We wanted to keep this Buns and Guns challenge super clear and super separated, because I feared that what would happen would be a lot of people would join the app going, oh, I can just join the app for, $49 a month, and I can get the challenge for $49 a month, and I can get, access to everything and not have to pay the $97. So people who were not app members would think that. Then the problem is they would not understand how the app is set up, which is you don't get it, in the app, you don't get the customer hub, you don't get the Facebook group, you don't get everything that you get for the $97 outside of the app isn't available in the app. It's a completely different process. You have it much better as far as I'm concerned. You can add your meals to your daily plan and check them off. You can check off your daily cardio. You can check off your workouts. If you do the gym plan, you can, record your sets and your reps and your exercises. You can check off your workouts with me. This time we're also giving you not only recipes in the recipe book, but we're giving you downloadable meal plans. But it's completely different. You have to do the exercises in the app. You don't get YouTube playlists, you don't get access to the hub. They're completely separate products and competitions. So I didn't want it to be confusing. I didn't want to create any more work for customer service where people would join and then go, oh, but hang on, I thought I got this and actually I don't want this anymore. Can I cancel this and can I get this? I thought I'm just going to keep them completely separate, close it off for new members so that we don't cause any confusion for people trying to join the app and then thinking they get something that they don't. First thing. Second thing is this platform is driving me bananas. I have to be honest. The app platform, we did not build this platform. Well, we did build this platform, but we used someone else's software, an app building company software, to build the app on top of it. And they promised us the world, and they've tried their best to deliver, but they haven't delivered in the way that we need them to deliver. And the app YouTube keeps changing things, and then the videos keep breaking for Android users, and they can't use the Android users. And I have to constantly go back to the app team and say, can you please fix it? Like, when is this happening? What's going on? And they're quite quick to respond, but I'm so dependent on this app building company we have a lot of control in the back end of the app, but when it comes to actual usability of the app, we don't actually have a lot of control, right? And that is very, very frustrating, very frustrating. And so I wanted to make sure that it's a good experience moving forward. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do, is the honest to God's truth. I haven't figured that out yet, but I think that we may be moving the app to a different platform, and a far better platform with a far better user interface, a far better experience, actually a cheaper price as well. And we've really studied the features that you guys are using, the features that you're not using. And one thing I have learned about building an app now is if you're going to have a feature, it has to be 100% exactly the way people expect it to be, or you're better not to have it. You cannot have a feature that kind of works or that works 80% of the way people expect. So the macro calculator, for example, you guys expect the macro calculator to work kind of almost exactly the same as MyFitnessPal does. But MyFitnessPal is a company that's been around for 15 years or longer, 20 years maybe. They are a big company. They have developed their product over a long period of time. It's, that is their only product, is counting macros and calories. And so And they're also a massive, massive company. So they have a huge amount of money to invest. So we could never make our macro calculator like MyFitnessPal's, ever. We just couldn't. Like, we don't have the resources, and the platform isn't built up, isn't, set up that way. So I honestly think it would have been better to not have a macro calculator at all, right? And I'm not saying the new platform won't have one. We haven't decided yet, but I'm just going to take apart and look at all of the features that are done really well, and all of the features that people really aren't using, because the community, although we've made updates to it, the community is driving me bananas. I want the community to be more like Facebook. I want it to be that, you can have more replies and comments, you can see who's liked your post, you can, all of these limitations of the community that I don't have any control to update and fix. And I'm such a perfectionist, and this app was just not what I envisaged, I have to be honest, in terms of the limitations of the platform. I need more control. So I've been looking into different platforms. I think I found one that's going to do exactly what I want it to do. It's going to be so much easier to use. The interface is going to be easier. You're going to be able to like skip the intros on the videos if you want. So you don't have to, listen to me blathering on at the start. You can literally just skip straight to the workout. There's so many more features. They also have this really smart search function where if you just type in the word of anything that you're looking for, it literally scans, the AI feature scans the entire website and pulls up all of the different options for what you're looking for. You could search for posts, you could search for workouts, you could search for an ingredient in a recipe, and it'll bring up all the recipes with that ingredient and all of the posts with that, so let's say you were searching for the word tofu. Well, it would bring up every single thing that had the word tofu in it. So I'm looking into different platforms at the minute. And while I decide what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make this better, I've just closed the app for new members, because I don't want new members coming in and experiencing the app the way it is. And I just want to say thank you to all you guys who've used it and who've really persevered with it and made it the best that it can be. I deeply appreciate every single one of you, and I promise whatever we decide with the new platform, it's going to be bigger and better than ever if you decide to stay a member. And if you don't, that's totally fine too. I do completely appreciate that you guys may not decide to stay a member, and obviously the company is growing and changing, and I'm adding all new different things all the time and bringing new things together. But that's the update of where we stand currently, and I don't have a better update than that for you. The app does, like the annual membership that we created last year does finish, I think, in February. I think most people who are on an annual memberships, their membership finishes in February or March. So we definitely won't make any changes before then, and I'll continue to add things to the app. We'll put Butt Camp in there. We're doing Buns and Guns. We'll do another shred in January, and everything that I promised that you would get for your annual membership, you will 100% get and more. And for anyone who decides that they love the app and they want to stay a member and they want to keep using it, I'm not adverse to just keeping it running in the background. I just think next year I'm not going to invest any more in this particular platform. Because it just doesn't work the way that we want it to work. So I think I'm going to invest resources elsewhere, but keep the platform exactly as it is. Like the workouts, everything will stay. The workouts, the meal plans, the recipes, the everything. Like I can't imagine that I will take the app away, but I will just build a better platform so that you'll have another option, I guess. And it may not even be menopause specific. It may just be a workout and meal plan platform that you guys can use, or anyone who wants to stay in this platform, you can 100% use this as well. But obviously I'll keep you up to date as to what's, how it changes and what's happening with it, and update you along the way. But that's basically the update as to where we are right now. And I wish I could give you more concrete information. I wish I could. Okay, Marie O'Neill is saying, sorry to sound like a broken record, but will the workout video issue be resolved for us Android users by the time the Buns and Guns challenge comes out on the 17th? Marie, I have had confirmation today from the app developers that yes, they are putting out an update today. So let me see what they said, because I really pushed, let me see, hang on 1 wee second. I really pushed them for it. So I said members are still complaining the videos are not working for Android. When will this be fixed? Can someone please give me an answer? So I got an update, said update going out for Android ASAP. I said ASAP meaning today or tomorrow. When? This was last night at 9 o'clock. I got a response back. The update should get pushed today. There's some new things with Google that is making it take longer, but Corey is on it and will let me know when it is out. So Corey is the managing director of the company. So they are on it and trying to get it pushed out as fast as possible. Unfortunately, with these updates, we seem to be dealing a lot with Google issues. The Google Play Store, you see, is causing an issue. YouTube has updated all of their new policies and terms and conditions, just to tell you what's happening. So they've updated all of these new policies and terms and conditions. They're now making it mandatory that people have to declare whether their content is for, adults or for kids and all this kind of stuff. They brought in all of these new restrictions on their videos. They're really clamping down hard on porn, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, all of these things have really affected really affected the Android portion of the app, because obviously Google is owned by YouTube. So you would think that, because Google is owned, or YouTube is owned by Google, that they would be able to sort it out, but it doesn't actually look like they have. And there are still major issues with it. So that is the problem. But I have been told that the update is being pushed, was being pushed today or last night or today. They're 8 hours behind us, the app company. So if you go to the App Store, go to your Google Play Store and see, is there an update today? And if there isn't, try and then check back again in a few hours. And honestly, Marie, this is one of the issues as to why I want to move away from this platform, because these constant issues with Android are driving me bananas and I have no way to fix them. I thought moving to an app really was the way forward, but I realized that apps just come with a whole new set of problems and difficulties, and especially whenever you don't own the platform yourself. And it was different, whenever, like if my team, whenever Ross was working as CTO for the company, and he doesn't anymore, but whenever he was, we could control all of the updates to our apps. We could control everything. But whenever I'm dependent on getting answers from a company that are 8 hours behind me on time, that's what causes all the issues. And I'm just being really upfront with you guys so that you understand the situation. I don't want you to ever think that I'm, stalling or trying to withhold information from you. Sometimes it's just, I don't have the information. And that's what the coaches, they're always coming to me and saying, do we have an update on this? Do we have an update on this? And I'm like, guys, I am so sorry. I don't have an update. Like, I'm pushing and pushing and pushing hard to try to get an update, but it's as frustrating for me as it is for you. So I really, really do apologize. And Carrie is saying, I use the app every day. I love being able to log my workouts and food. Carrie, I love that you love it, and I love that you use it. Thank you so much for using it. And I'm glad that you love it. Like I said, I'm not going to take it away. I need to figure out a better option that works better. And the app, unfortunately, just with the limitations that it has, just is not a good option at the minute for me. Guys, does anyone else have any questions? That's all the questions there were in the app. Does anybody have any questions here they want me to answer live on the call? Just gonna take another slug of coffee. Let me know if there's any other questions. I haven't seen any others come through in the chat. I know that there's just many people listening in the background, which is great. But if you guys don't have any questions, then we'll probably just finish for today. Buns and Guns is going to drop, I've said on Monday, but I do intend to surprise you and drop it early, just so you know. I always say under promise and over deliver. So I've told you that Buns and Guns is going to drop on Monday, but I'm pretty sure it's going to drop sooner than that. We almost have it ready. Let me tell you actually how that's going to work. So this time, rather than uploading all of the meal plans that then you click to add the meal plan to your meal plan feature, which just did not work well and just broke all the time, we've done it slightly differently this time. We've created downloadable meal plans for you. So you can, whenever you go into the challenges folder, you'll click on the meal plan and there'll be a little button to download it, and you literally download the meal plan. So that's option number one. So it'll have, all of the different macros and calories and everything in there. Option number two, we have added we're currently adding, I haven't finished it yet. That's what's taking so long. We're adding all of the recipes to the recipe book. And so we're calling them, let's say, tofu scramble, and then in brackets, we've written B&G 3.0. So if you go into the recipe book and you search, tofu scramble, or even if you just search B&G and then click on breakfast, it'll bring you up all of the breakfast recipes that are for B&G. So you can then just click on the recipe and just log it. Click, log, click, log. So rather than all being preloaded into your into your meal plan, which was causing a lot of frustration last time because people wanted to switch out the meals and maybe not have this one with this one. What we've decided to do is just to add all the recipes this time, so you can literally just individually add the recipes, which I hope is going to be a better way for you to do it, because we didn't realize how much you guys love to change everything. So last time it was like, I don't want to have tofu, I want to have seitan, I don't want to have rice, I want to have quinoa. Like, how can I take out the rice and do the quinoa? And we were like, oh shit, like we didn't. And that's the other thing I learned about having this app, is that women especially want to change everything. They never want to keep a recipe the same. So they want to be able to half the ingredients, double the ingredients, take out the quinoa, add the quinoa, substitute the seitan, take out the corn, so, which is understandable. Like, I'm not in any way judging it or saying it's wrong, but I hadn't realized just how much people want to substitute. And so because the app isn't set up that way with each individual ingredient and macro added, because you add a recipe, not each individual macro, which is then added up, you can't easily take something away and add something else in. It just doesn't work with the structure of the app. So this way, hopefully you're going to be able to add the recipes yourselves. And it's going to make it so much easier. And then we have created gym workouts as well for you guys who want to train in the gym, or you can do the follow along workouts with me. And then there's also cardio workouts in there as well. And then we have obviously the challenge signs, the before and after signs. We have the challenge rules are in there. I just still need to record a welcome video, which I'm going to do probably tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure that I had, the challenge folder all set up and knew exactly how it was all working. That's going to be recorded. And then I would say we'll be live by Friday. I'd say we'll be live before the weekend, and you guys can get excited and get started. And it's going to be really fun. And the coaches will obviously be in the groups every day, but be moderating everything. We'll have this call every week for you to ask your questions. And it's going to be exciting. I have another 4-week challenge. You're going to go into Christmas all shredded and beautiful and gorgeous. And then for those of you who want a little extra over Christmas, I'm currently working on a program called the Holiday Shred. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be part of the app. This is a Black Friday offer that we are offering outside of the app. Because it's a Black Friday offer, I can't put it in here for free. But what I've done is I've created a program which is for those people who want to keep their gains over Christmas. But you guys have the app anyway. You can do it. You don't need this. But basically, it's 4 weeks of holiday-inspired calorie and macro-counted recipes, which are 1,200 calories. The reason why they're 1,200 calories is because I want women to be able to choose a breakfast from here, a lunch from here, a dinner from here, low-calorie meals 80% of the time, and then that 20% of the time you can eat, drink, be merry, indulge. So I want everyone to have a great holiday season, but I don't want you to really regress in your progress, so that and kind of spiral out of control. So I've created 15-minute workouts, 30-minute workouts, and cardio workouts, so you can kind of pick and choose. Oh, I don't have time for 30 minutes today, so I'm going to do 15. They're all full body workouts, so every day will be full body, so that even if you miss a day or you miss a workout, you don't have to try and make it up somewhere. It's just every day is full body, working on different parts of the body, so that that's going to be your kind of 2-week holiday emergency fitness fund, if you like. Emergency recipes, emergency training. And then we will go into our shred in January, and we'll have another shred in January, just to get everybody back on track. And it's going to be so much fun. Love it. Okay, Buns and Guns will be epic. Carrie is saying, first butt camp is the first time I'm feeling it in my glutes. I hope the new competition also does supersets. Carrie, the new competition is all supersets with no rest. And I mean, like, no rest. It's like, that's the only way I can keep them really short. So you go chest, back, 1 minute rest. And then you'll do chest, back, different exercises, 1 minute rest. And then you'll do, shoulders, 1 minute rest. So like front delt, rear delt, 1 minute rest. So you literally, in a 30-minute period, I think, get like 5 minutes of rest. And you're just go, 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 go. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. All the glute work is heavy glute work, banded, active rest. And then straight in again to, heavy glute work, active rest. And then at the end of those 3 sets, you'll maybe get like 1 minute rest. And you're right, it changes your body so fast, because the intensity on the muscle is insane. And so the way I'm positioning it for new people is because I'm just imagining someone completely new to training is going to buy Buns and Guns and literally shit themselves. They're going to be like, like, what is this insanity that I've walked into? So I'm going to be saying to them, if you want to, like, say, you could do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off if you want, or do 45 on, 15 off. Or if you want to go the full hog, you can do the 60-60 supersets. But I kind of like, I'm starting here and then giving people the options of coming down. And then the other great thing is as well, we have 3 minutes of abs every day. So there's intensive ab workout. So you do 50 seconds on, 10 seconds rest, intensive ab workout every single day. So your abs at the end of 4 weeks are going to be insane because of the ab workout that we do. So we upper abs, lower abs, and a twist, and obliques every day, different exercises. So I would say the programs just keep getting, if I do say so myself, better and better and better and better and better. And I'm really figuring out a formula for making people work so hard in a short period of time with not a lot of equipment needed, and also incorporating full body. So yeah, and Amy, the other good thing is Amy is doing Buns and Guns with me. So for most of them, although the last couple of days I've had to record myself, but she does the harder one version and I do the easy version, or the knee friendly version, or she does the easier one and I do the harder one. So we actually really kind of play off each other really well. We're training together this time. And let me tell you one more thing before I go. So Amy, actually, I was chatting to her this morning. I think Amy's going to come and work for the company full time now. So she's literally going to come and record with me all the time, or record for me, or she's going to come and be kind of my fitness sidekick, which is phenomenal because she's family and I trust her, like, with my life. And she's in amazing shape. She is, health and fitness is her value. She is like that's, she eats so healthy. She doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't like, she literally never eats sugar. She's like the perfect child. Although I would like her to go out and get drunk occasionally and let her hair down a bit. But anyway, she doesn't. And she gets up at 5 a.m. and she practices yoga and she meditates, and she then, she cooks all day, and she's just incredible. She teaches yoga as well, obviously. So she's just like a little mini me, but without the craziness. And we've always been so close, since she was a child. She used to come and spend, she was homeschooled as well. And so she used to come and literally spend all day at my house with my kids and look after them and cook with me. And so we've always been really, really close. And the fact that she's going to come and work for the company just feels so right. And I'm so delighted. So you're going to see a lot more of Amy, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This was epic. Thanks for all the fabulous questions. Can't wait to see you all next week. I know there's going to be loads of questions about Buns and Guns whenever it lands, and you all get a chance to look through it. So bring your best questions next week. We're going to have so much fun, and have an awesome rest of your week. And I will catch you all for another Q&A next Tuesday. Okay. Sending you big hugs and kisses. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Good to see you, Dan. Good to see you, Carrie. You're the only ones with the cameras on, but I know everybody else is here. I can see your names. You're with me in spirit, if not in camera. Oh, there's Tanya as well. Everyone always pops in and like, hi, say hello and goodbye. Good to see you, girls. See you all next week. Okay. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. Okay. Bye.